Hello, great scholars. Welcome to another interesting lesson. Today, we are going to look at the topic culture. Culture. Okay, so in this lesson, we're going to define the meaning of culture and we will look at the aspects of culture. So, let's get started with the meaning of culture. Culture is the way people live. Culture is the way people live. We can also say that culture is the way of life of a people. Now, there are different aspects of culture. There are different aspects of culture as we can see here. There's the family system, language, fashion, food and agriculture, and religion. So let's look at each of these aspects of culture one after the other. The first I have here is the family system. The family system refers to the type of families that people in a particular area are allowed to have. Here in Nigeria, most cultures allow men to have more than one wife, and that is what we call the polygamous family. A family where a man has more than one wife is known as the polygamous family. Okay, you can see the man here flanked by two women, and you can see this man flanked by about seven women. So that's a polygamous family. And the second type of family system is the monogamous family, where a man marries just one wife. So you can see them side by side, the monogamous family with one wife and the polygamous family with more than one wife. The second aspect of culture we are going to talk about is language. Language is a way of communicating. The language is the way people in a community communicate among themselves. In Nigeria, we have different languages, but there are three major languages which are Hausa, Igbo, and Yoruba. The third aspect of culture we'll talk about is food and agriculture. Food and agriculture. So we'll look at the meaning of food and agriculture. First of all, food is anything that we can eat. Anything that you can take into your body that will not harm you is known as food. Agriculture, on the other hand, is the growing of plants and rearing of animals for eating. Okay, so the type of food that people in a particular place eat is dependent on the agricultural system that they have. Okay, so now let's take Nigeria for instance. You see this plant here. This is the cassava plant from which we get the cassava tuber. It is majorly grown in the southern part of Nigeria, and that is why people in that region eat the things that can be made from the cassava tuber. These are the things that can be made from cassava tuber. We can make things like gari from the cassava tuber. We can make things like akpu or fufu. We can make eba, and we can also make abacha or African salad from the cassava tubers. And the cassava plant is majorly grown in the south, and that is why people in the south eat most of this food that we just mentioned. They eat a lot of gari, akpu, eba, and abacha. On the other hand, people in the north do not grow the cassava plant. Okay, so they don't get to eat much of eba as we in the south here do. What they eat is known as tuwo. Let's look at another crop that is grown in the south. This is the palm tree. It needs a lot of rain to grow, and that is why it is majorly grown here in the southern part of Nigeria, where there is a lot of rainfall. From the palm tree, we get the palm fruit, and from the palm fruit, we get the palm oil, and that is why most of our dishes that we prepare here in the south are made using the palm oil. Okay, people in the north cannot grow the palm tree because they do not have much rainfall like we do in the south. What they have is the shea tree, from which we get the shea butter or ori oyo as it is locally called here. And that is why instead of using palm oil in their cooking, they use ori oyo in place of palm oil. Okay, so you can see how agriculture affects the type of food that different cultural groups eat. Another plant that is widely grown in Nigeria is the maize plant. And let's look at another aspect of culture, which is fashion. Fashion. Fashion is the way people dress. Fashion is the way people dress. In Nigeria, we majorly wear warm clothes because the weather is very hot. Okay, but in as much as we wear warm clothes here in Nigeria, different cultural groups also have their different ways of dressing. For instance, this is the Igbo cultural dress. Okay, this is the Yoruba cultural dress. This is the Hausa cultural dress, and this is the Bini cultural dress. And let's look at the last aspect of culture, which is religion. Religion is the way people worship God. Religion is the way people worship God. In Nigeria, we have three major religions. We have the Christians who read the Holy Bible and go to church. We have the Muslims, okay, they go to the mosque. And we have the people who practice African traditional religion. African traditional religion. So, in today's lesson, we have been able to define culture, we have been able to explain that culture is the way people live. And we have been able to also talk about the aspects of culture, which are family system, language, fashion, food and agriculture, and religion. Okay, so with that, we have come to the end of the class. Thank you very much for being a part of it. Bye bye.